Hey guys, we got another big week of astro vibes coming at us. We got a new moon in Pisces coming up this week. We have the sun moving into conjunction with Jupiter this week. We have Venus and Mars moving into conjunction with Pluto simultaneously this week. It is a big, powerful, heavy hitting week of energetics that we have coming at us once again as we close out our new moon in Aquarius lunar cycle and head towards our new moon in Pisces that is happening on Wednesday. And we got a lot of astrology to talk about today for Monday as well. So let's jump into the report. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, February 28th, the last day of February 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. And full disclosure, you guys are getting some hardcore mom vibes today because I have two children who are currently healing through a real nasty stomach virus. And so I'm going to do my best to get this video done today, but they're like right over here watching some cartoons. So I may have to, they may need me here or there, but that's what's going on. And I just really wanted to try to get this astrology report out to you guys as well, because we do have like a lot of really big time energy going on this week. I know I like say that every week, but it's honestly because it's true. We are transitioning ages right now into the age of Aquarius. We are at a very critical point in our collective evolution, humanity's transcendence energetically, and evolution in conscious awareness. And so as a result of that, there are just a lot of real significant things happening on an energetic, astrological, cosmic level that we're interpreting and narrating and trying to understand here on this channel. So there's another big one, guys, another big week. And it's really funny because, I was talking about like what we're dealing with right now, what I'm dealing with my children right now. And it's a very literal manifestation of this purge energy. And with Venus and Mars coming into a conjunction with Pluto this week for this new moon in Pisces that's coming up, this purge energy is real thick. Like this is just a very strong vibration because we are really purifying, clearing, cleaning out. And, that can literally translate into things happening with our physical body, with our physical vessel. So I found that to be an interesting correlation as well. I'm actually shooting this video on Sunday when the moon is in an exact conjunction with Pluto, with Venus and Mars right there. So honestly, I'm not really surprised that this type of thing is going on. But there's an example from my own personal life of how this purge energy is playing out at this point in time. But it can be very metaphorical, and it can be, go for a lot of different circumstances as well. But just wanted to throw that out there. So anyways, that being said, let's talk specifically about the energetics for today, and then a little bit about what we're building into this week. And we'll just do that. So really, I like the energy that is opening this week today. It seems like a day leading into a week of illumination that could be quite illuminating for one reason or another, in one way or another. We have the sun this week building in Pisces, building into a conjunction with Jupiter, the planet that rules truth, the planet that in Pisces rules spiritual truth. And when the sun and Jupiter come together, this can be a very expansive view of the truth of a situation, or really put like a highlight on our belief systems. And in Pisces, there is this very spiritual energy intertwined with it, but Pisces also, an aspect of that energy can be very deceptive, very illusory, and Pisces rules illusions and delusions and fantasies and projections. But with Jupiter and Neptune coming together right now in the sky as well in the sign of Pisces, this is bringing truth and clarity and an expansive viewpoint to that illusion. This is going to be breaking and busting open a lot of false perceptions, false narratives, false understandings, just any type of illusion or delusion essentially that we may have been operating under for quite a long period of time too, especially considering this is happening in the sign of Pisces, which is the paradigm that we are currently transitioning out of. There could be some real big revelations coming not just today or this week, also throughout this next year, 2022, since this year is hosting this aspect, that could really open our eyes to a lot of things that we may have been misunderstanding or seeing through like a distorted lens or distorted perception, or like just like a fogged, like a veiled view of or something for, like I said, like a long period of time. This could be also enlightenment or revelations that are really pertaining to like the far back past in some cases as well. But anyways, back to today, we have the sun coming into the conjunction with Jupiter this week. The sun is about 3 degrees away. Today is at 11 degrees of Pisces. Jupiter is at 14 degrees of Pisces. So we are starting this week with the sun within a 3-degree orb conjunction to Jupiter. Again, this is that expanded view of the truth. And then with the sun there as well, this is definitely putting a highlight, shining a light, energizing this truth, this exposure, this illumination type energy. And just to, make it just a little bit more exciting in terms of this, we have the sun, as I said, at 11 degrees of Pisces today, opening our week. And that Sabian symbol, 11 degrees of Pisces, the Sabian symbols, what they are is a group of symbols that describes each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. And they just give us more information, another lens of clarity through which to perceive the activations that are happening, another layer of understanding, essentially. So I love looking at the Sabians because they just give us more information. And, you'll see, look at this. So I'm talking about how we have the aspect going on right now about the moon or the sun in Pisces moving into a conjunction with Jupiter, talking about this illumination, right? And then the sun today is at 11 degrees of Pisces. That Sabian symbol is men traveling a narrow path, seeking illumination, like really verbatim. So that's why I love the Sabian symbols, because they just come in and really like synchronistically, ironically or not, really emphasize or explain to a higher level, or just like add some more emphasis on what is going on with the aspects. So men traveling a narrow path seeking illumination. And that's also interesting to me, being the degree of the sun today as we open this week and the sun is moving into this conjunction, because if you look at the chart right now, you'll see that there are 3 planets grouped together in the sign of Pisces, which is really sort of like in the middle of all of the planets right now. The planets in the zodiac right now are really all grouped in like a very small section of the zodiac, of the signs between Capricorn and Taurus. I mean, we have the South Node in Scorpio. So I guess, between Scorpio and Taurus, that's where all the planets are right now. But they're really between the very end of Capricorn and then Taurus. So all the planets are like in this little group in the chart right now, really putting the emphasis of all the energy on these signs that they're in. And then we have the sun and Jupiter and Neptune, this illuminating aspect going on that is just like really grouped together in this like narrow part of the center, basically, of all of the planets grouped in just a couple of the quadrants of the zodiac. So it really is like this narrow path that's like providing this illumination, even when you're looking at the chart. And it's interesting. I feel like this is going to be bringing a more focused effort to really understand what's going on, especially now that we have Mercury out of his shadow as well. Things are really clearing up. We're really understanding what's happened and getting ideas about how we need to move forward. Now, speaking of ideas and Mercury in the mind and moving forward, another feature of the energy this week is that we also have Mercury ruling the mind, ruling our ideas, our thought process, communication, like information, messaging, media, social media, the news, all of that type of stuff, the things, the information that brings a lot of times that sense of illumination or enlightenment, coming into a conjunction with Saturn. This exact conjunction is actually going to be happening tomorrow. They're 1 degree off today. And Mercury and Saturn, you guys, this is like a very, very focused mental energy. Like this is very a very strong ability to pay attention to details, a very strong like stream of focus, ability to concentrate. Like this is a very, very good like researching and making plans, making strategies, like really figuring things out. There's like a lot of, you can really, really put some really hard work into any type of mental activity that you're engaging in. And so even with Saturn and Mercury together, this also has a way of bringing a form of enlightenment as well through like some type of research or study or just a mature understanding as well. Saturn rules maturity, and Mercury did retrograde back from Aquarius into Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. It also rules government and establishment and authorities and bosses, leaders, institutions, like the public facets of life and the elite sectors and the people in charge of things. There could be some real illumination that is coming out this week, you guys, in regards to those very topics, especially with Mercury, the messenger planet, in the conjunction to Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, while simultaneously we have Venus and Mars conjunct, building into exact conjunction with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. There could definitely be some news, some information that perhaps has been hidden or like broadcast in a deceptive way that is gaining some exposure, or there's being a highlight or truth being shown on this week that really like has a maturing influence on the way that we're thinking about things, that causes us to perhaps take things more seriously or be thinking or looking at things more seriously. Mercury and Saturn together, this is also like really very serious about whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're focusing about, whatever's going on, and like a real ability to like zone in that narrow path, right? Interesting. The Mercury and Saturn together really does create a very narrow focus of the mental energy. So I don't know, you know, guys, personally, collectively, in our individual lives, on a world stage, there could definitely be some things that are sobering us up in terms of the way we're thinking as a result of some type of revelation or exposure or truth, spiritual truth even, that we are aligning with, or that there is being a light shown on the sun in some type of a way. Interesting week. Now, specifically for today, we have the moon in Aquarius. The moon will be forming a conjunction to Mercury in Aquarius and Mercury in that conjunction to Saturn. So the moon in Aquarius is going to be conjoining Mercury and Saturn conjunct today, and also forming a square to Uranus and Taurus. So the moon in square to Uranus, this brings emotional upsets, shocks, surprises, things happening out of the blue that kind of throw things up in the air for us, or cause some type of like emotional conflict or just like emotional upset, basically, like I said. And with Mercury and Saturn there as well, we could be hearing or finding out some very serious news or information that really like changes things for us in some type of a way. Uranus is very active today as well. That sun that we have today at 11 degrees of Pisces is also forming almost an exact sextile. This will also be happening tomorrow to Uranus at 12 degrees of Taurus. They're 2 signs apart. That's a sextile. Sextiles are actually positive aspects. They facilitate things, they assist things, they help things to happen. And so Uranus is being activated by the sun today, by that sextile, and also being activated by the moon today by square. So both luminaries today are also activating Uranus as well, as we close out this new moon cycle in Aquarius ruled by Uranus. But you know, the thing with Uranus is it's always a silver lining. It's always a blessing in disguise. It's like whatever is happening with this Uranus energy is, you know, especially with the squares, it's forcing us into a situation that we that we needed to be in, but we couldn't do for ourselves for some reason or another. It's like when we won't or can't make the changes that we need to make to further our own growth, that's when these Uranus aspects come in and throw everything up in the air and make things feel really uncomfortable and really uncertain and really unsteady and out of control. And, you know, a lot of times, like, we just don't know what's coming next, but, you know, ultimately, it's always the type of energy when looking back, it's like, if that had never happened, I would never have gotten freed in this way or that way, or these other things wouldn't have fallen into place properly. Sorry about that, guys. So honestly, I don't remember what I was just saying, but I know I was talking about Uranus, of course, for an interruption. But anyways, back to Uranus. Essentially, Uranus just always puts things right. And a lot of times we don't figure it out until later down the line, but it gets us out of situations that we can't get ourselves out of for one reason or another, but that our soul needs to be freed from in order to go through the process of growth and expansion that is necessary according to our personal blueprint and trajectory. So very active Uranus today. That means that things could be, you know, nervous tension, nervous energy for sure. Could be sort of just like an erratic day, some bizarre, strange things going on. But again, this is also that like break free energy, that put things right energy. So in the midst of this illumination or this enlightenment that may be coming in today, this week, you know, as we go through this new moon in Pisces cycle and head towards the new moon in Aries, our astrological lunar new year, we have this energy that is trying to bring us this illumination, that is trying to give us this matured, more serious perspective and viewpoint to help us plan and organize and facilitate and move things forward, and to also simultaneously help us break free emotionally and like in moving in that new direction. Remember, the moon is going to square Uranus, but it's also going to form the conjunction to Mercury and Saturn. And so that is bringing this emotional alignment to these plans that we're making for the future, or to this more serious perspective. This could definitely be a more serious feeling day. We may be feeling, you know, sort of introverted today as well, more withdrawn, sort of definitely more internalizing our emotions with the moon conjoining Saturn, and our thoughts, more internalizing our thoughts with the moon conjoining Mercury and Saturn together. And then, you know, with the aspect to Uranus as well, this could be because of some type of strange news or information or occurrence that goes on within a relationship as well. Now, moving on to the next big thing that we have going on today, and it's significant as well. I mean, this whole Aquarius new moon cycle has been about a major theme of it has been relationships, soul connections coming in, and relationships that are no longer in authentic alignment with us falling out, just sort of biting the dust. That's been a major theme of this for sure. And it will be as we continue throughout this 2022 year. But today, and I mean, of course, also because Venus and Mars, they've been in conjunction this entire time, but today they are in exact conjunction again, 2 degrees off from Pluto, and simultaneously forming an exact trine to the North Node and an exact sextile to the South Node. So Venus and Mars in their pairing 2 degrees off from Pluto, also aspecting to the exact degree today, destiny and karma, the past and the future, where we're going, the next phase of growth, the lesson plan, what we're developing and evolving into right now, according to our personal and the universal blueprint, and the South Node, what we're leaving behind, what we're very comfortable with, the lessons that we've already learned, what we need to release and let go of in order so that we can grow and move forward. More like that Uranus aspect I was talking about as well. And that might be sort of what is in the air today too, with this faded dust and energy, and also this bringing up the things that we really need to let go of in order to move forward. And Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, you guys, ruled by Venus, along with that North Node, and the South Node is in the sign of Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto, who are in a conjunction today as well with Venus. And so this really could be these things that might be happening today, happening so that we can finally release something, let something go that perhaps we have been holding on to for a very, very long period of time, or very resistant about transitioning away from. That could be what this Uranus energy in the double time with both luminaries today is talking about, while we have this internalized mental energy that is actually, Saturn also rules wisdom. Jupiter rules wisdom, but Saturn also rules wisdom to some extent. And Saturn also rules karma. And the South Node also rules karma. So there's a lot of karmic stuff wrapped up in this energy today too, but it should definitely be leading us towards a path of enlightenment. With Mercury and Saturn together, a very focused, narrow path of enlightenment. And not only that, we have the Earth today at 11 degrees of Virgo. What's sort of happening with the state of things on the ground. That Sabian symbol is a boy molded into his mother's aspirations of him. And considering the rest of the stuff that's going on in this particular context, I'm like, this to me feels sort of like the experiences that we're going through now in correlation to the energies and the vibrations that are associated with them being disseminated from the cosmos. Is almost like humanity getting in line with Mother Earth, with Mother Gaia, with her original intentions for this period of time, or for our authentic growth. Or, this is also, I feel like, represented through that divine union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine right now, as they approach this pinnacle moment where they will both conjunct Pluto. And I really, as I've been saying for a while, I really feel like this is going to be a significant shift in terms of humanity's sense of internal self-empowerment, internal wholeness, and our ability to use our own power to begin to create our own experiences and be less reliant on being plugged into external power sources, or, the matrix, as we could say. So with the Earth at this degree today, I'm kind of like, everything that is happening is to allow this process to happen. So we are being molded into our mother's aspirations of us in this energy, into God's divine vision of us. And that is what this process is all about, is helping us to come into our highest and our best and fulfill our greatest potential and destiny. And as a result, experience the greatest amount of fulfillment coming from a place of unconditional love and truly being able to manifest our dreams into reality in this paradigm. That is where we're headed. That is God's vision of us and for us. That is the boy molded into his mother's aspirations of him at this period of time in the context of all these energies. So I really like that Sabian symbol being discharged today as well. We have Jupiter in the conjunction with the sun today at 14 degrees of Pisces, a woman wrapped in fox fur. And in the context of the rest of the energy and everything that's going on, I feel like this is almost like us being wrapped in our own truth, or sort of concealing the illumination that we are coming to at this point in time, and just kind of like wrapping ourselves in it under this energy right now. We have Neptune, a materializing medium, giving a seance. This is talking about this really powerful ability to connect to divine guidance, to divine wisdom, and to align with our higher path at this point in time as a result of Neptune, the planet ruling spiritual connection in the sign of Pisces, ruling spiritual connection at this degree, verbatim talking about being able to have a direct line of communication with God, our higher selves, the divine universe, and to ask for and receive guidance on our path at this moment. So we have that as well. And that's, those three planets that are in this narrow path of illumination, the sun, Jupiter, Neptune in Pisces, exposing, illuminating things for us. So we have a very fated day going on today. The North Node, Mars, Venus aspects cannot be understated. This is huge changes going on in relationships that are for the purpose of aligning us with something that is going to bring us real, genuine, true, authentic fulfillment and allow us to come to a place of unconditional love and self-empowerment within us. That is the whole goal of this energy right now in terms of this Mars, Venus with Pluto, north-south nodes, breaking us out of these karmic ties, these karmic loops, these toxic patterns of intertwining and enmeshing ourselves with others and with financial situations and stuff like that. For those of you who are wondering what that weird rope is hanging back behind me, that's a leprechaun trap that my children have rigged up, and you can see it exceptionally well today. So I wanted to make that note so you guys don't think I'm just stringing random lines up around here. But back to the report. Yeah, like we need to sever these toxic bonds, and this is very deep and psychological and like really like deeply held traumas and stuff that have gotten us in these toxic patterns and ways of being. And that is also what this purge energy is about right now with this Pluto. And it's so crazy because the North Node is in Venus' sign, the South Node is in Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto. They're all together. This is huge fate. This is huge destiny. This is huge release from the past, from what we've been bound to subconsciously, unknowingly even in the past, bringing us on a new trajectory that wants to bring us that true soul fulfillment and align us with our authentic creative potential and really give us the ability to tap into it and to use it to create, to build, and to align and to attract all that will bring us that sense of fulfillment. This is divinely ordained what's going on right now, and we need to not fear these shifts. We actually need to surrender and embrace them and allow the things that need to fall away at this point in time to fall away and make the changes that we are being nudged to make because they're in our best interest at this point in time. So overall, that's what I got for the energy for today, you guys, for the astrology. Definitely, I feel like we're going to be a week of illumination, very hardcore mental focus. We could definitely be seeing some authority figures, leaders, stuff like that. We also have Chiron right now with the ruler of a nation while this is happening. So there could definitely be some geopolitical exposures or things being cleared up in terms of false narratives and stuff like that we're experiencing during this period of time, and these relationship issues. But again, you know, as I say, it is for the purpose of getting us something much, much better. So that's what we got going on for the astrology today, you guys. Let's talk about the tarot now. Tarot time. Okay, so let's talk about these cards. Now, I got 5 cards coming out today, and then we got the back of the deck. So, interestingly enough, the first card that came out of the deck today when I'm shuffling, asking God's spirit universe to give me some symbolism to clarify what's going on in the collective, what we might be experiencing this week, what the collective vibration is as we go through these energetics. The first card that came out, y'all, was the Hermit. And to me, this is very much a card representing Mercury and Saturn in conjunction. And if you look at this card, you guys, he's holding the lantern of illumination. The Hermit is all about going inwards, withdrawing, going inside to find illumination, to find wisdom, to find clarity, to see the light. And we're traveling a narrow path seeking illumination this week while we have Mercury and Saturn in a conjunction. So Hermit energy vibes, very strong right now. Like I was saying in my report, probably a good day, a good week to sort of be more withdrawn, more isolated, and really focus and work on finding the light within you and what you can do to create that in your experience moving forward. What is your light? What is your passion? What really lights you up inside? Or what is the truth of a situation that may have been holding you back, or where, you know, a lack of clarity maybe have been preventing you from moving forward? Definite vibes coming through with the Hermit. But we got a lot of other cards to consider in the context of this. Now, the next card that came out of the deck was the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. You guys, yeah, this is talking about states of financial upset, material things just sort of being upside down in terms of a material sense, finances, economies, resources, supply chains, financial issues generally, family issues as well, maybe not going that well, relationship issues as well, perhaps not going that well. This can also, to me, symbolize like divorce in some cases and stuff like that, but not necessarily. It's just a generally sense of like the material world around us not necessarily being stable or steady or feeling like we can really rely upon it. And then the next card that came out, obviously, you know, makes sense in the consideration of that. We got the Five of Cups, and this card is it's about disappointment. It's about like dismay and feeling a sense of lack and a sense of loss. And it's the crying over spilled milk card though, really, because if you look at this card, there are 3 cups that are spilled over, but there's 2 cups still standing upright behind him that he's not paying attention to, not looking at. Like, there is still something there. But this is like, it's like a card of focusing on your losses. So we may be focusing on some losses. You know, this could pertain to relationships, but this also could be material, financial, stuff like that we are dealing with this week as well. And then underneath, or after that, we got the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is lacking that inspiration, perhaps lacking that clarity, lacking that like fresh idea or that like mental inspiration or desire to do something. But then coming in right after that, we got the Death card, and this is never something to be alarmed about. This does not signify actual death. This is a symbol for transformation. It's the same archetype, the same energy as Pluto or as Scorpio. It just means transformation, regeneration, rebirth into a higher, more evolved state of something. It's the Phoenix energy. And so when we put all of these cards together, actually, it really makes a lot of sense. Like, we may be experiencing some real states of uncertainty on like a finance, economic, relationship level right now. We may be experiencing some disappointment about it, but what we need to really try not to do is to only focus on the negative. We need to remember that the glass is still half full. And, you know, any lack of clarity or lack of insight or lack of understanding or lack of inspiration that we may be experiencing right now is about to undergo a major transformation. And it's having a lot to do with this internalized reflection, this internalized, like, seeking after illumination, mental focus, like finding the light, seeing the light from a more withdrawn perspective in one way or another. And then you guys, though, on the back of the deck, like what's coming, you know, this could be sort of like the progression of how this energy is playing out. We got the King of Wands. And nobody pursues their passion, pursues their heart, has as much creative energy, creative power, creative potential, ability to manifest as the King of Wands. So that is where this is going. And we have Venus and Mars together in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto in a trine to the North Node. That is also super, super powerful energy for conception and conceiving ideas and creative projects and new images and visions and passions and desires that we want to create and manifest and tangibly bring down into this physical world in a very fated and destined way that will be rewarding and successful, Capricorn, in our material world going forward. So whatever the struggle is opening this week, you guys, the answer is seeking after that illumination, not doing it externally, doing it internally, really like figuring it out, whether it's through research or study or reading or just some really deep like thought, consideration, focus, mental focus, or, you know, withdrawing our energy and just really getting down to the basics and focusing on the things that we need to do or making those plans and making those strategies. This is excellent planning energy, you guys, especially in the sign of Aquarius for things geared and oriented towards the future that we want to build, foundations that we want to lay. Mercury and Saturn in Aquarius, this is the business for that. This is so good. And this Hermit energy can benefit us so much. And it's telling us, you know, even if we are feeling like our world is upside down right now and really disappointed about it and feeling like we're just lacking the motivation to move forward, there is a major transformative energy that is coming through this week. Like I said, that, you know, really requires us, though, to turn inwards, because that is where this illumination is coming, this narrow path seeking illumination. It's an active effort, but it's leading to this insane level of creative inspiration, creative energy, manifestation potential, ability to stand in our power and really be assertive about the things that we are passionate about, that we desire, and that we want to pursue and create. Venus and Mars conjunct in Capricorn with Pluto. So there's that. That's that. That pretty much sums up, I feel like that's a good summary overall of the astrology that we're dealing with right now. So now let's grab a synchronicity card, message from God, just a little bit more guidance to help us navigate the energy that we have going on today and moving into tomorrow, or this week, I guess. Ooh! There goes one. Actually, we got 2 cards today, you guys. Actually, we got 3 cards today. That's weird. That's never happened before. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to read all 3 of them because they all wanted to come out. Okay, the first one says, think of good. The mouth of the righteous is a well of life. Proverbs 10:11. As you continue to think on whatsoever things are true, lovely, noble, and of good report, you will gradually change the negative patterns of your thought. You become aware of the gradual change and think constructively based on what you know to be right and good. This is Mercury conjunct Saturn. Constructive thinking is like hardcore key words for Mercury and Saturn. This is the advice, this is the synchronicity card, and this is the advice for navigating the Mercury-Saturn energy this week. Think of good. I think this is the advice for the Uranus square that we have going on today and for the Pluto energy that we have going on this week. Wow, obstructions removed. Rest in me, I have gone ahead and removed every stone. God has gone before you and removed every obstacle. Any obstacle you now perceive is a product of your own imagination. Let go and let God lead you. There is no wrong action. There is only right action. Follow the leads which come. So we have Saturn, advice for navigating Saturn, Mercury, think of good. And we have advice for navigating the Uranus aspects and the Pluto aspects, obstructions removed. And now we have advice for the Sun, Jupiter, Neptune energy as well. God will guide you. So crazy. These cards always amaze me. He who overcomes shall inherit all things. Revelation 20:14. Be a channel for the good of God. Let life, love, harmony, and understanding of God flow through you. Praise God in the midst of you and know every problem is solved by God. When disharmony, discord, or disappointment appear, be assured God is guiding you through it and will reveal the way to achieve your goal. That's amazing, you guys. That enlightenment, that illumination, all that spiritual energy in Pisces with the Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune. God will guide you. Obstructions removed, and think of good. And the common thread through all of these cards is we need to maintain mastery over our mind and thoughts. And what do we have going on this week? Mercury in a conjunction with Saturn. Mastery over our mind and thoughts. Control Saturn over our thoughts, Mercury. So we got this, you guys. It is going to be a wonderful week of illumination, transformation, rebirth, and change. And we are going to do it swimmingly in flying colors with our little butterfly wings sprouting and sprinkling glitter and sparkles and rainbows over the world. So that's what I have for my report today, you guys. That is the energy from the stars, the energy from the cards. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to do my very, very best to be back here tomorrow. Got some stuff going on, but I'm going to do my best to be back here, and I am going to move heaven and earth to make sure that I am here for the video for March 2nd that I have been talking about for the past year. So, interesting week, and I will hopefully see you guys all tomorrow. If you liked this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think they would enjoy this as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I have a Facebook page, Facebook group, Instagram, TikTok, and a website if you guys are interested in any of that. They're in the description box of my video below. And like I said, will hopefully see you back here tomorrow for the astrology of the day and that very specific Mercury conjunct Saturn that we have going on tomorrow. Also, the sun will be an exact sextile to Uranus tomorrow. But expect the unexpected this week because we do have all this Uranus energy going on and all of this other crazy energy. So have a beautiful day, everybody. And if I don't see you back here tomorrow, I will definitely see you on Wednesday. Bye, guys.